Sorry, let me share my screen. Hope you can see my screen. Tell me live open. If yes, tell me. If no, tell me. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes,
All right. So, what we discussed last time, I think we discussed what is Maven, for what purpose that it will be used, and how to create a project. I mean, you don't creating a project regularly, but it's good to know all those things and how to build a project as well, because that's what Maven used for, right? And what is the project structure? And I think we have seen how to build also. MVN clean install. It'll let's see. It'll build. If got it. So MVN deploy. Let's try. It will throw an error. It says no distribution management section. I guess. See, no distribution management section. We tried this, but I don't remember it exactly. That's okay. It'll throw error. This will try later. Don't worry. So today we'll continue the same topic. So we built it, and we'll see. You may get a doubt, right? From where it's downloading the repository. Sorry, from where it's on the dependencies and all. If you know, like we're doing Ambient install or Ambient package, whatever it is, correct? It'll show some downloading option. Let me no. Let's try again. The building today. We'll see, and you'll know that. Simply Ambient clean, or I'll tell you this now, but don't worry what it is. .m2 and all. Let's remove this completely. Let's try whether this will work or not. Let's try our thing. Let's build it. Sorry, this little fail. PACKG. Yeah. Let's see. See, it's downloading, right? You can see it. Downloading from central, blah 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 something. The whatever the plugin. All these are mentioned in the pom.xml. So downloaded. So it says downloading from central. So this is the repository it seems. Let's open this. Let's go here. This is the repository. These are all the plugins. Let's go to one. See, it'll download these. Maybe 1.1 is the latest version, right? To download the latest version. See, 1.1.jar. xjavadoc 1.1.jar. Let's see what version is downloaded. Oh, we can't. I have to filter out. So it will download these plugins, whatever the plugins or whatever the dependencies we mentioned in the pom.xml from a repository called central repository. Usually we call it central repository. See, this is called central repository. You don't need to worry about this. I mean, how to configure and all. It's already configured. So let's talk about what is this repository and how many types are there and blah 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 and all those things. I think you already seen Git, right? It's a repository, obviously, correct? What it will store the code or our data or code. We can store anything over there in Git also, but it's not good thing to store. Usually this repository, GitHub repository, will store the source code of our application, whatever, and we use it. Similar way here also. central repository. Maven repository is nothing but this one, Apache Maven.org something. This is a repository where it will store the Java dependencies. Got it? So here what happens is when you do something, let's say ambient any command, let's say package or install or something, it will go to this central repository and it will download the required plugins. If it is there here, if it is not there, it will say not found. Maybe let's say example HTTP client is the plugin, but in the pom.xml you give wrong one, HTTPS client you give as an example. Let's say it's not there here in the central repository. It will fail, obviously says 404 not found. Obviously the plugin is not there. So usually this is what happens. But it's not just central repository. There are three types of repositories in Maven. Notepad. So three types of repositories. So first is local repository. Next, central. Next, remote. These three types of repositories are exist. So you know already the central one because you have seen it. This is the URL. Let's copy it. What is the local? I think you know this already. .yum2 directory or folder. Whatever both are said. So three types of repositories overall. Now, how Maven works usually when you do something, let's forget about the remote. I'll tell you later. First, let's talk about only these two. So, how Maven usually works is, let's say, when you type Maven install or Maven something, let's say package something. What happens is, first it will look for these dependencies or for the plugins in local repository. First, it will go to local repository. Where is the local repository present? It will be created in user home directory. It means, let's say, I'm running the Maven commands as a root user, correct? So what is home of root user slash root? Correct. This is where it will create by default. You don't need to create. Let's say if I'm running these Maven commands as Ubuntu user. Let me run that. Okay, the project is in slash root folder. Let me just copy. Yeah. So this is my project. I'm running as a root Ubuntu user, not a root user. Let's try mvm package. Yeah. It's obviously it'll download. That's fine. So it's failed. Forget about why it's failed. So what happens is, see, it's create.m2 folder in Ubuntu home directory. Whatever the user, it does not matter what user you ran it. Whatever the user, you run the Maven projects or Maven commands, I mean to say. The local repository will be created in that user's home directory. Let's say there is a user called test, and you log in as a test and you run the Maven command. So what happens is, in the test home directory, wherever it is, it will create a directory called .m2. Got it? So .m2 is the local repository where it will be present. It will be present in the user's home directory based on whatever user you're running. So if I run as root, it will store in root home directory. I run as a normal user, I mean, let's say test user, the M2 will be created in test user. So like that. So now what happens is if I run this my app, I go to my app, I do any command, first what it will do is it will go to this M2 local repository. It will check for there. It will check whether these plugins exist or not in the local repository. If those exist in that local repository, it won't download again. Why it need to download? It's already exists, right? So it won't download again. So if the plugins already exist, it won't download again. That's what we have seen, right? Let's see. Let's see package. What package will do? It will just download it. It will build, but it won't store. So obviously it will download every time. That's normal. I'll do ml package again. It's normal. Now when you do install, it will store in that, right? In the local repository. So now when you after that, whatever after the install, whatever the command you ran, first it will look into .m2 directory. It will, I mean the local repository. If let's say you are looking for a plugin called HTTP client, and it's already present in the local. So when you do mvn some command, when you build in the application, it will take this plugin from the local repository. Got it right? What I'm saying? So it will store in local repository when you do uh, mvn install, and if it is exists there, for the next time it will take it from there, from the local. If it is not exist, then only it will go to central repository. Got it? Then only it will go to central repository. So let me clear that. I'll just delete the folder itself. Let's see whether it will create or not. So now I'll do mvn package. Let's see. It is downloading because I deleted the local repository. There is no plugin stored there. So that's why it is going to internet. Internet means our central repository. Got it? So these two are fine. So first it will look into local. If it is the plugins, everything is present here, it will take it from the local itself. It won't go to internet. And if it is not there, it will go to central, which is over the internet. It's a public hosted application. So a repository, I mean, it will download from there. Let's say if it is not there in central also, it will say 404 error, obviously. It says plugin not found. We have to recheck it. What we have mentioned, is it present or not, or spelling is anything. It could be anything. Sometimes the plugin itself not exist. We might have to rethink. Now, we means in the sense of developer, I mean, they'll be checking it. Now, there is something called, as I told you, remote repository. What is this remote repository? This concept actually is like maintaining our own repository. What do I'm saying? Maintaining our own repository. We don't need to depend on central. Of course, local is there. Obviously, it's our own repository. Obviously, but it's not a good way, right? See, I have 10 servers. This M2 app will be present in 10 servers. There is no common place. Correct? It's not a good approach. So this remote repository is what happens is we maintain this remote repository. We upload the plugins so that others can use within our organization, within our team. So there are a couple of tools for this called Nexus, JFrog, mostly these two famous ones. So they'll use any of this. We'll use any of this. Both are same. I mean, almost similar. Just one or two commands. That's it. But everything is same. Don't worry about this. So now what happens is we have to tell Maven about this remote repository. We have to tell about this remote repository, where it exists. Where it exists means we have to deploy this remote repository. It's a tool. It's simply just a tool. We have to run this tool, and there will be URL, I mean endpoint. So similar like this, some IP address or something. So we have to tell this to Maven. So this is my remote repository. Use it. So now what Maven will do is obviously it will look first thing it will look in local. Next it will go to central if it is not there. If central also does not exist, it will go to remote. So what happens if it is found in remote, it will pull it. I mean, it will download it obviously. If it is not, it will fail. if the plugin does not exist anywhere. So got it? So here, remote repository, as I told you, so these two tools are exist. These tool will come later when we start after the Maven. So the real time, how this remote repository works, we'll see at that time. Don't worry. So all we have to do is install this any of this tool and tell to Maven. Tell to Maven means integrate this tool into Maven. We call it integration. So then Maven knows this. Okay, remote repositories exist. So then it will talk to that. So as you can see, mvn deploy command is useful for this. When you do mvn deploy, what happens is whatever the package is built, whatever it's built, this will be uploaded to our remote repository. So it's saying failed repository element not specified in the POM inside distribution management. It is expecting something called distribution management. Inside the distribution management, we have to define our repository work, but it's not exist since we haven't tried it. So uh, it will fail obviously. If we configure this, it'll get success. So got it? So these are three repositories, and the structure is like this: local, what is local, central, and remote. But why to use remote? What is the advantage of remote? And why we need to use it? Obviously, central is there. We can download from it, right? Why we need to bother about setting up the tool for our own repository and use it? It's headache, right? The main thing is security. See, some companies are there, they don't even have access to internet. Let's say banking projects, some banking projects, not everything. I'm just saying an example. There exist. So one of my colleague who went into company, so they don't even allow the phones inside. No internet access inside. I mean, they can connect to servers and everything, but they cannot access internet. The central repository is in internet, right? How they will download if there is no internet? Correct. So what they do? They set up their own repository within the organization, within their organization network, their VPN, whatever it is. So, and the request, if you want to download something, you don't need to go to the internet again. So it's remote. I mean, our own repository is there within our own network. So it'll download from there. You don't need to go internet again. This is one of the advantage. So every time you don't need to go to internet. You can simply connect to your remote repository, which is present in your network only. So simply you can download it. And another thing is a common place. See why we use Git. One of the thing is it's a common place for the internet, where everyone can access the code, everyone can do their changes and everything, push their changes or pull it, something like that. Because as a team you're working, as a group you're working, not just individual, right? Similarly here also, there should have a common place, where all the dependencies exist. So developer use this to pull whatever they are working on. To let's say some developer wants plugin A. If it is present in remote, they'll configure it in their pom.xml, they'll pull it. Or if some developer wants plugin B, they'll pull it from here. It's a common place. So that's why we use this remote repository. So got it what I'm saying as of now?
Yeah, yes, bro.
So that's what I mean. This the practice. I mean the what I will show is when we'll start this working on this tool, we'll be discussing Nexus in the next class once this Maven is done. So we'll configure at the time how to create a repository and how to integrate that repository with Maven, all those things. So that's okay. That's about the repository types. So three types. Now, one scenario we have to do here is maybe not related to repositories. How do we analyze Maven code with a Sonar cube? We haven't discussed that, right? If you remember, we have analyzed the multiple projects in Sonar cube, but those are not Java related. If you observe, if you remember what I told that we'll start Maven, then I'll show you how to analyze the project with Maven. Why? Because I want you to know what is Maven first, and then we'll start. So today in this class, we'll see how to analyze Maven, I mean Java code. or a Maven code, let's say, with Sonar Cube. Because this setup is little different compared to what we have seen earlier. Because in earlier what we have seen, we just downloaded Sonar scanner. We have given the endpoint of Sonar URL and some token so that it will connect. So, sorry, it will connect to the Sonar scanner will connect to the repository and it will do the analysis because the scanner will do it. But here it's a little different. Here Maven will do it, the scanner. I mean, of course, scanner is there internally, but through Maven we have to do it, not through scanner. That's the small difference. So in order to do that, we have to configure it a little bit. We have to configure our Maven project. So then it will do it. Got it? Let's start. First, let me see whether Maven exists or not. Hmm, so it is Sonar. Yeah, Sonar exists. Let me start. Started Sonar Cube. Let me just open it. It's still not running. Okay, let's start. Let's see console. See, I don't know what is error, but let's see with console. It will show the error. Oh, sorry. I cannot run Sonar as a root. My mistake. Hmm, started Sonar Cube status not running. Let's see console again. What is the error? Access denied. Configure. Let me just remove this. I think we ran as a root, right? So temporary files are created as a root user. So due to that, this normal user don't have access to delete them and recreate them. As I told you earlier, every process will have temporary files it will create for its own purpose and it will delete after. It will clean them by default once you stop the process. Similarly here also, see, creating or cleaning the temporary directory. It will create a temp directory. It will try to clean it once you start. But earlier when we started as a root, so temp files are created as a root. He is the owner. So no one can delete the root files because this Ubuntu is a normal user. Even though he have admin access, he can't delete the root files. That's why there are. Let's try. It should work now. Start. Started Sonar Cube status running. See, as simple as that. Let's refresh this page. It usually takes some time, but yeah, let's see. Let's see again. What is this? Not running. Mhm. Oh, this error. Put some virtual memory again. There is a command I had to set it permanently, but I forgot. Let me run. It will be useful for you. It's running. Let's see. Yeah, it's running. Okay. So we have Maven, we have SonarCube. Now we have to integrate these two together. In integration is nothing but just making sure they are both are communicating each other. So first, okay. Meanwhile, it's running. So first thing is we have project name. Yeah, my app is a job Maven project. So we have pom.xm. This project Just cleaning the target directory. Fail to delete. I want to add. Let me delete. We copied this. We copied it from a root user. Sorry. See. I forgot to change the ownership. Yeah. Now it should be. Got it. So this is the main project file. This is where the first step is. This is where we have to configure. What to configure here? Let's see. Password. Yeah. So what to configure here is a plugin. In pom.xml, there will be dependencies on plugins. That's it, right? See the all the plugins. So we have to configure Sonar Q plugin. There will be a plugin called Sonar Scanner plugin. So we have to update that. So how to update is sorry. This is one way of doing it. Let's say you don't know, the plugin where to update and all. Let's forget about this. There are two ways to do the Sonar analysis. One way is updating in the project level or updating in the Maven tool level. Let's say I have 10 projects. You can't update in all the 10 projects, right? Simply you update the Maven tool. I mean Maven, the original configuration of Maven. So it will be applied to all the projects, correct? So what we have to do is Maven home. This is the Maven home path. Let's go here. Dash user share Maven conf is there. Yeah, conf is there. Settings.ml. Sorry, XML. This is the Maven tools main configuration file, not the projects. Projects is pom.xml. Tools is settings.xml. So we have to edit this file. So first we'll see we have to add a section for the plugin of SonarQube. So we can't remember it. It's almost 5 to 6 lines. Let's see what to add. Sonar plugin for Maven. Let's go to maybe this. This is the question. So like this, we need to add. Instead of this, let's go to official doc. They gave the command, but not what to add. No. Okay, so let me add it. No problem. So first we'll open the settings file. So here it's present in the documentation. Don't worry about what I'm trying to do. So there will be a section called plugin groups. Yeah, there will be a section called plugin groups. This is the plugin group section. So within this section, we have to add our plugin, similar to like this. See, like this. So where do we add? Simply let's go to here, the last of the plugin groups, the last line. Come on, sorry. Let me just open this. Plugin group. Let's go to last. After the arrow mark, I'll add a new line. So what is the new line? Just copy this line from here. Sorry. Copy this line. Simply paste it here. Now here we have to give a plugin name. A plugin name, I think I remember it. Let me just org dot sonar source dot scanner dot maven. This is the plugin name. It's all present in the documentation. Don't worry. Like which line, I didn't mention anything. So don't worry. Where to add exactly, it's present in the documentation. So don't worry about that. So this is the plugin we have to add. This is the line. Let me maybe share in the chat in case if it is not there. This is the plugin we need to add in the plugin group section. This is one thing. Another thing is there will be something called profile section. Profiles. Yeah, this is the profile section. So yeah, this is it. So we have to add a new profile for our Sonar cube. What is this profile means? See here, we are making sure that Sonar cube and Maven is talking to each other. See, Sonar cube have a password, right? Username and password, and as well as Sonar cube have an URL. So with that only Maven has to talk, right? How does it know? I mean, how does Maven know where is Sonar cube? How to talk to that? By mentioning the URL. I mean, that is the point of contact. So that's what we are creating a profile for SonarQube in Maven configuration so that it will use this profile to talk to that. Otherwise, it doesn't know that. So what to do? Similarly, there is profile section. You have to come at last of profile section with some arrow mark. This is also present in documentation. So what you have to do is simply copy this section. Just yeah, I think from to here. Just copying the profile section and creating our own. We paste it. See, we got a new section. Now change it. First thing, what is the profile ID? You can simply keep Sonar scanner or Sonar simply, whatever it is, no problem. Next is activation property. It is asking activation. You have to give activation means when to activate this profile. So when to activate this profile means if you let's say is you don't want to use it for a couple of times. You want to use this profile only when we use for something else. And then let's say I want to activate this profile only when Sonar is being started, or I want to activate this profile for some projects. At the time, you can disable this profile. But for now, for our case, let's keep let's activate this by default. I mean, let's keep it active all the time because we'll be testing regularly. So mostly everyone keep it by default only. So here I'm adding a new section to activate it by default. So this is the line I'm adding, and I have to close this section. So I opened a section and I have to close it with a slash. This is how the XML syntax works. You don't need to learn that, don't worry. So now a property, this should be properties, correct? Or I copied it wrongly. There is this properties slash property name. Yeah, property slash property. Okay. So I can remove this property, not required. Yeah, activation is there. Now next we have to do is properties. This is present here. Within the properties we have to give sonar URL. Let's give the sonar URL. Sonar.host.url. Sorry, spelling, please mind my spelling mistakes. What is the URL? Sorry, this is the one. So simply paste it. Sonar.host.url. I have to close the section, right? I opened, I close the section. Basic XML template. And I opened the profiles. Yeah, that's it. So this is the profile we have added. All we have told is we created a new profile for Sonar Cube and we told what is the Sonar endpoint so that Maven will access it. That's what we did. Don't worry about the syntax, what it is. When you look at for the first time, it will be like this only, but nothing here. So when you open a section, you have to close the section. See, you opened activation, you close the activation with slash. You open properties, you close properties with slash. You open Sonar host, you close the Sonar host with slash. That's it. Got it? Now, let's save it. Done. So now let's go to our code. Let's see if this works. It's a little old solution. Let's see. So the command to check is mvn sonar sonar. Sorry, spelling wrong, so it will fail obviously. That's correct. mvn sonar sonar. Let's see now. It is failing. So what it is saying requires authentication because sonar when if you want to push if you see remember the last time we faced the same error for scanner. So we have to give authentication in the settings.xml. It's expecting that. Let's see how to see. Even I don't remember. Let's see. Settings.xml sonar underscore token. We can pass in the command also, but let's not use that for now. See, this is what we are at, right? If you remember, same thing. See, some sonar name, whatever the name, activation by default true. See, sonar URL we have added, same thing. See, nothing changed. One way is one way you can do like this. Sonar column sonar we have did -d sonar dot login. You can pass the authentication token. This is one way of doing it. Let's try that. It will work. What is the token? Let's do it somewhere. Let me open my project. Not there. Yeah, here Sonar Square is there. Right? Yeah, this is my token. I can pass the same thing. Sonar colon sonar -d sonar dot login paste. Build failure. What is the reason error creating the bean class? Blah, 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 something instead. Let's clear it. Mhm. It can't download. Failed to execute goal sonar colon sonar. Let's try again. We'll see. What is this error? I don't know. Failed to create a working directory, Sonar. Why it's failing? Let me give ownership again. Set FSC. Set FSC. RM. That's correct. But they fail itself not found. It exists. Ah, not there. That's okay. Let's try now again. Let's see. I think it's working because of the permission. See, it's success. But why it failed? What is the reason it failed? Is as I told you again, it's creating a directory. I can't show you the error because it's gone. It's creating a temporary directory, but we copied it from the root, right? So this user cannot create that. So we gave the complete ownership with ch own hyphen r we gave. So recursively it will apply to everything inside it. So it worked. Now let's see in the dashboard. Refresh my app. See the Maven project came right. Code. This is the code. See, this is our code, correct? That's how you do analysis with Sonar. I mean, with for Maven project. So one way is we pass authentication token with sorry through command line. That is fine. So even we don't want to pass it in the settings.xml. Sorry, because let's say if someone have access to the server and they open the settings.xml file, they can see the token. So what they'll do is they'll pass as the they'll pass as the command line argument for the Sonar command, and they'll use here a secret that we'll see when CA tool comes, how they use it and all. Don't worry about that. So this is how you analyze the code with Maven. Sorry, with SonarQube, the Maven project. So here we did only just three steps. One thing is we just edited the settings.xml file. What is the settings.xml? Maven main config file. There one thing is we added a plugin group, sorry, plugin Sonar plugin inside plugin group section. Another is created a profile for Sonar inside profiles section. That's it. And we did son mvn colon sonar and hyphen d we passed an authentication, so it worked. Got it?
Yes.
Any doubts? Any so far? Anything? Hmm. Others? Any doubts so far as of now?
No.
Okay. Hmm. Yeah. So that's it
Mm,
about. Sorry.
Bro, could you please send that configuration you have set that in the settings file?
It's present in the documentation I shared with you. Yeah, can you check once? If it is not there, I'll send it.
It's there only that activation by default.
That is also not there.
No, that's not there.
Let me just check the. Let me open the document once. 1 minute.
It's there. Sorry, bro.
Is there?
Yes,
It's
there.
in Sonar document, not in Maven.
Yeah, it is there. Yeah.
So yeah, simply just copy paste it. I mean, don't just copy from Word document directly into server. First, paste that in Notepad because the format will be different when you copy from Word document. It'll go wrong. So check that. Update your. I don't have in this document in laptop, but yeah, it'll be there. Okay, got it. Any doubts so far? Got it right. Okay. So I take it as no doubts.
You
So
got
yeah.
it.
So tomorrow we'll discuss about how to add our own dependencies here. I mean, as of now, we've seen building the code and integrating Sonar Cube with the Maven, as well as what are the repositories in there. But we haven't seen this the main thing. How to edit this file, add our own plugin. I mean, you can look at it by it, simply copy paste it, change the name and the plugin name and the version. But we'll try it tomorrow. Got it? So we'll close this Maven for tomorrow. Next, we'll start the remote repository setup. Don't uninstall Maven again. Just now. We need it. We need it. So SonarCube also keep it. We need it. Maybe another 1 month we need it.
Okay.
Got it? So yeah, that's it for today's class. Tomorrow morning it'll be there. Today I couldn't able to wake up. So tomorrow morning same time 78 we'll start our class. All right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay then. So see you tomorrow. Bye. Bye all.
Thank you, bro. Good night.